In this video, we're going to be releasing some fly exterminators from Nature's Good Guys. This is a really easy and simple way to control the fly population in your garden or barn. You can see just how small these fly exterminators are. Here are some that are hatching out in a bag. If you want to witness hatching, I do recommend keeping them in the packaging until you see movement like this. Just keep it in your house and check it every single day. It can take a week to 2 weeks to hatch depending on temperature, but once you start seeing movement like this, that's when you want to go ahead and release them. And please note that the pupae, the little brown rice kernel looking things in the bag, do not change in appearance at all after hatching. So that's why I recommend keeping them in the bag, because once they're out, if they're already dispersed, you can't tell that they've hatched. So that's a very common misconception where a lot of people will call us wondering if their fly exterminators have even hatched. And these hanging disbursement bags that come with your fly exterminators make it super easy to release them. Be sure to always read the instructions that come with your insects closely. And if you're looking for this information, it's also on the website where you can find the release rates as well if you're not sure how much you need to buy. You can pour as little or as much as you want in the hanging release bags. It all just depends on your desired dispersal rate. The way they work is actually by targeting the larval stage of various fly species, which effectively minimizes the pest fly population. Not only are they nocturnal, but they fly really only a few inches off the ground, so they virtually go unnoticed in your space, which is great. You can see there's one on the outside of the mesh bag right there. This one was barely just starting to hatch out. So like I said, if you really want to witness hatching, make sure to keep them in the original packaging like that clip from earlier in the video, because you can see they are really difficult to see once you are actually applying them. You can either use the tab to kind of close over the top of the bag, or you could staple it if you wanted. Either way, they will still be able to get out. And again, just showing you with this bag I'm working with, it is just starting to hatch out. So you can see there's one crawling along right there. When it comes to where to hang the bag, you want to focus your application on the fly breeding site. So not necessarily where you're seeing a bunch of adult flies, but more so where you know that the fly breeding is happening. It can be a good idea to kind of gently mix the contents around in the bag just to make sure they're not all settled in one spot. And I'm just going to continue filling my hanging release bags and distributing these around my garden. So if you have compost piles or animal bedding or manure, or if you have kennels of some sort, all of those locations are going to be great for your fly exterminators. Remember that we're concentrating them in those fly breeding areas. Prevention is always easier than fighting a really bad infestation, so make sure to start releasing your fly exterminators at the beginning of the warm months, at the very first sign of flies, and you want to continue to do so throughout the season. And that's a really good rule of thumb to remember for any beneficial insect. None of them are, a one and done application. It's something that you have to continue to do. Try to hang your bags out of direct sunlight if possible, and if you're using them around animals like chickens, remember that chickens will eat these. They're a very yummy snack for your chickens, so be sure to hang them out of reach where they're going to be safe. Not using the hanging bags, you can sprinkle them directly on the ground. You just want to be sure to cover them up, say with some compost or soil, in order to protect them from birds and rodents. As I mentioned earlier, our release rates can be found on the website, but for small animals like chickens, you can think about 100 fly exterminators per animal. For goats and animals of that size, about 500. For larger animals like cows or horses, about 1,000 per animal. And that's it, a natural, easy way to control flies with fly exterminators from Nature's Good Guys.